What's happening, beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the playbook. Today, 5 different techniques to score goals via the wings, via crossing. If you're new to the channel, which you are, please subscribe, drop a like, share it around the community, get in the comment section if you have questions. I reiterate, 5 different techniques in this here video, and it starts off with play styles. I want to address this. It's not mandatory that you have whipped pass, but it will dramatically increase the accuracy, the release points, the wing play is going to be on the up and up. The wing and the swing. You got roll full here, whip pass. And if you're very fortunate or you've picked out one of those players, and I'm talking fullbacks, wingers, it's a major bonus. It's an extra helper if they have the whip pass play style. Spoiler, you're going to see plenty of highlights with Hemp, and you'll see exactly what I mean. She's got that golden touch, unless you think that's yellow. I'm going to go with gold. Goldish yellow, yellowish gold. I'm calling this the short cross, and I'm scoring constantly. So if you don't know how to whip in a cross, you're using the square button. It's more about angling your body. For the short cross, you're going to need maybe 1 bar of power, just a love touch, just something gentle. You want to put it into position. The money zone is in between the defenders, especially the center backs. It's a great way to find yourself in an attacking or an advantageous role and split the defense. They can't do anything about it. The player switching isn't there for them, and you can beat the goalkeeper. You can knock it down. It gives you additional options. I mean, this is good to go. Creme de la creme. You can beat Park the Bus this way as well. So we have an attacking player. In this case, it's Kubo, and he is going to take that space. I've also noticed with the short cross, whether it's a big player or a smaller player, someone who's good to go with physicality, someone who's lacking. In many ways, he still finds the space, and you're going to score a goal. We go direct here, whip it in. Hemp taps that home. Or sorry, Kubo taps that home. Hemp set it up. Now, I want to showcase in slow-mo. You see Hemp. It's a slight re-angling of the body. If you see that. Slight re-angling. You let her be left-footed and be natural for you. You don't have to do a bunch with aiming here. The key is very minimal amount of power, and then let the player run into that space. I'm not doing a bunch of aiming. I'm not going crazy on the left stick. You don't need to do that. Just make sure her body is facing the right direction. There you have it. Goalkeeper kind of in no man's land, and we tap that home. I got more. One of the same. Back to back. I like showing consistency because it is important. This time, we've got Ronaldo, and he's going to attack that space. I do get a friendly bounce in the final finish. And again, I'd like to reiterate the importance of being able to use this, finding your key target man, and then sometimes he's going to go over here and knock it down to another attacking player. In my case, I only have one other option, but I see this happen time and time again with crosses. You whip it in, you hit somebody's head, or if you have a physical number 9, and then let him have a glancing header or take it off his chest and provide for someone else. But Ronaldo is still going to be the target. He's going into the zone. You already see that I have a left footer on the left side. The same with Hemp. Left footer on the left side. If you want that natural swinging movement, and I'm telling you, you don't have to aim it, but you do need to get a player that is comfortable with whipping in crosses if they have the trait or the characteristic, even an extra bonus. In this case, Kubo doesn't. So you don't need someone who has whip pass, but it is an added bonus. I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that. Ronaldo into the space. Touch could have been better. Alisson with the save. And the reason I'm showcasing this is because we score afterward. Mistake out of the back. Hemp, bread and butter. The same situation. I've seen those roll in. I've finished them first time. I've made that additional pass. You get the idea. Welcome to the back post ISO, which stands for isolation. We've got João Cancelo. He has no helpers. So first instinct, do I need to bring this back somewhere? Is there going to be some sort of option? Because on screen currently, there's not much. So you can see me look for the resurface. I'm buying some space. I shake a defender or two, but I'm still somewhat surrounded by defenders. I need help. I need help. My options are still to swing it backwards. We're not doing that just yet. We take space. I go for an aggressive move. But at this point, I've now put myself in a position where I'm starting to open up potential options. In most cases, this will be option numero uno, if available. Somewhat surrounded though. You got a bunch of defenders that are in the area. Might not be your first choice, but then on this back post, it's a 1v1. That's why I say back post isolation. It's not about being wide open, but giving yourself a chance, typically against a fullback, to win that back post header. And if you have someone who's got a big body type, in my case, I do not. I'm talking about Rafinha. I'm still taking a chance, but if you have the likes of a Cristiano Ronaldo, you got yourself a Rafael Leao, you've got yourself an Edin Dzeko or Karim Benzema, someone who can climb a little bit. It's brawly. Or Morientes. I could keep naming players. As for the cross, I would say at least 2 bars of power. If you're really going to aim towards the back post, you can go for 3. Some people might talk about lobbing it up if you want to add a modifier. That's on you if you want to start getting into the L1s and so forth and so on. I feel this year so much with crossing is intuitive. And if you have the right players whipping in those crosses, they find the guy that you're looking for. And again, as for aiming, if I had a controller in front of me, but I do. You don't need to do much with the left analog stick. It's all about making sure that your player is kind of facing the correct way. You don't want to go wild left, wild right. Both of those circumstances, not completing a pass. You're whipping it out of play or you're pulling it way too far back. Understood? You don't need that extra whippage. Again, you've got your matchup. This is the matchup. We're going to throw it into this zone and let him work for it. Goalkeeper, I always take advantage of this, or I try to. He's also hugging the near post. Because he's hugging that near post, I know that he's not likely to come out to grab this unless I put it too close to him. Gives me a margin. We cut inside. There's your finish. One more time. I think you need a little more of a all-in-one motion. So if you start out, we get a great lob of an outlet pass. We don't have options. The only thing we could do is go backwards. Thankfully, we take a little bit of a risk here. And at this point, I know that I got to be whipping. And I'm feeling that whippage. Maybe you got a nutmeg in there. Back post. Golazo. Full send. And you'll see why in just a moment. Deep ball release. We got Reece James, who again has the whipped pass playstyle. So does João Cancelo. So does Hemp. Rolfo, everyone that I'm showcasing for the most part in this video has that play style, and it just gives you more accuracy and a quicker release. And when you're doing first time crosses, you can whip it in very quickly. I don't have someone wide open on the back post, or you can go for hitting the space. And I really want to talk about taking advantage of space. It is going to be your best friend at all times in FIFA. We've got Ronaldo, someone who's making that full-fledged run. His hand is out. Feed him. Feed him. Feed him. You can talk about the back post, but I just think there's too much distance between Reece James off the bounce to find that back post. We're going to look for Ronaldo. We're going to give a little extra oomph here. Just because you're going first time, I'd still say 2 bars is where you kind of want to be. And then we're going to allow Ronaldo to give us something. Worst case, we get a layoff or a completion or a missed touch. It's going to be positive, generally speaking. Look at the delivery. Ronaldo, yes, sir. Defenders, not that close. From a chase back, from someone that's trying to press back. By doing this first time, we have opened up at least another half second in order to give us a chance to finish a 1v1 or to finish inside the box. Fantastic first touch. It ain't always going to be that pretty, but this time it was. So we've got the delivery. I just want to showcase again, what else could you have done? Even if I don't shoot this first time, I'd say that you'd have the option for a layoff either direction. I mean, the hand is even raised for Hemp. She's ready to go. So just to give you a little asterisk to the memo, or second entry, if you're trying to become a poet, you could have passed it. I didn't, but you could have. Oh, what a finish. This is a cross that I never see talked about. We still got Hemp on the ball, and I want to talk about the swing. Because of my angling right there with Hemp, this is the pass that you would be looking for naturally. You see, she's turned her body. That's with the left stick, and then you don't have to go crazy with the aim. You don't have to do much after that. You've already done what you needed to do. You resurfaced, you re-angled her body, her trajectory. The same with this when it comes to scoring Trivela shots or finesse shots. It's not about you actually aiming. It's more about you moving the body of that attacking player to present the proper angle. So you would think we're doing something here. We're not. We're not doing that at all. Maybe I shoulda, coulda, woulda. The options, we've got Ronaldo, who could be offsides. This is in the bread and butter in terms of trying to make some sort of weighted run. I don't see it. I miss it. I see a lot of options, though. There's some back post available that you're not seeing just yet, but just wait for it. So we cut inside. And once I get to this position, I'm now having a different choice in mind. Ronaldo offsides, also covered, no longer open. I don't love that matchup, but I see a guarantee with the likes of Reece James. And you might say, why not pass this on the ground? I'm concerned of an interception. But I know by whipping it across, she's going to put it somewhere in this area where there's no players around. If anything, this triangle of defenders, they're chasing back towards their goal, which means that there's going to be a gap. And we're all about what? Space. We want to attack the gaps. This is one of those gaps that we're going to attack. And again, you just give a little love touch. You don't need a lot of power here, maybe a bar and a half. And a lot of people get too focused on the power bar. They get too focused on manually aiming crosses. It's so much of the job is done via good timing, picking out the player in terms of knowing who you're aiming for, and then presenting the proper angle, which does the majority of the aiming for you. Lob it in here, takes it off the chest. Great first touch, and we get the finish. Come on. Some slow-mo for the people. Hemp. Again, could have whipped in early. I think the option was on. I missed it. Sometimes that happens, but that does not mean the chance is lost. You see Reece James, he's joining the attack. Hemp again, she's going to pick out the right pass. She's got play style plus in this case. Fantastic opening touch. Beats the defense. They weren't ready for it. Off the bounce, and we convert. And last but not least, and I'm calling this the cool whip, and the clip itself is maybe cut just a little early. We have Rafinha, who's a left-footed player, and you're basically cutting it back for the angle, and we're still looking to hit this near post. I find this happening over and over again this year where you can target players with splitting the center backs. And that's what you want to do. That is the ideal circumstance. When it comes to crossing, you kind of see the defensive triangle, but can you split the center backs? Do you have a runner between the center backs? For attacking midfielders, triggering into the space, center mids triggering into the space, of course, strikers, number 9, center forwards triggering into this space. That is going to be what you're looking for, but having a left-footed player tells me I'm going to get that whippage. It's going to be a little bit different with the curvature, the trajectory. That's exactly what happens. I'm not aiming this, but I have re-angled the body, and I apologize ahead of time. The clip is just cut a little bit early, and I can't find the raw file. So if anything, it's on me. But this does support some of the short crossing where I was talking about when you whip it in, decent first touch, but now you've got 2 easy options for a layoff, and Ronaldo's gonna do just that. Tons of space, goalkeeper out of position. You're gonna step into this and you tap it home. Who else? Hemp had to do the business. One more time. You see the cross? It's floating. It's so graceful. Ronaldo, decent first touch, somewhat shakes the defender, is able to hold it up, but all the options open up. And you hit the layoff. You hit the layoff and you let your other attackers do their job. It's a tap in. Thank you very much. Those are 5 techniques that I believe you should add into the arsenal. It's a lot about understanding what to look for. I can't be more of a broken record, but I feel as if people overemphasize so much with crossing, or they do the opposite where they just whip it in. They don't know what they're doing. They have no plan of action and they're not converting. You want to find yourself with a healthy medium in between. Some balance. You have a program, you have a plan, you understand the sequence, and you're not over aiming or over adjusting. And there are a couple videos on screen. If you've enjoyed everything that we have going on the channel, I would highly appreciate a thumbs up, and then let me know if you have questions in the comment section, or check out the videos that are on screen. I have a lot more coming out ASAP. Welcome to the playbook.